he's talking about what qualifies somebody to be a master in African American music, black music. And he made used the example of Aretha Franklin. And he said, what Aretha learned in her father's church in Detroit was how to sing to make people laugh, how to make them cry, how to make them shout, you know, look inside, become aspirational, and so forth. He said, in this music, he said, that's what qualifies somebody to be a master. You know? And as I was listening to you guys, I was thinking about Rob's whole question about excellence, and I thought, okay, for me, I guess it's goosebumps. Because anytime I hear you guys do songs I've heard you do 100 times, I've listened to 100 times, I still feel goosebumps in the same place.
You cry, man, stop it. You're gonna kill my reputation.
And I mean, the thing about it is that, you know, you guys really are that, what really makes you old school to me is that it's a place where inspiration and craft does come together. You know, because sometimes those goosebumps come up through the chord changes. You know, it's through the structure. And then sometimes, you know, it's a convergence of what happens with voice, lyrics, music, and all of that. But all of those things are, you know, it's embedded in the form and the content of what you're doing. And I think one thing I wanted to hear you guys talk about, because I've never really heard you guys address it, is just that whole question of, you know, just where mentoring comes in on a certain level. Like Sandra, I know you spent a lot of years, you know, singing with Shaka Khan. You know what I mean? I just like to hear you talk about that in terms of your development process. But man, you went to Howard the same time I did, you know what I mean? It was funny because I was talking to somebody the other day about DC in the 70s because they couldn't believe DC was ever fly.
It was.
No, but it's, you know, I understood based on their limited exposure to DC now. You know, but yeah, I'd like to hear you guys just address that in terms of, you know, just the development of your artist in terms of people you came in contact with along the way and working with.
I want to add to that. And do you have someone under your wing? Do you have some young artists? Are you mentoring the next generation?
No. Yes.
Okay.
But thanks. That's a lot. I really appreciate it. Because for me, what I always tell, because I do teach, I do master classes in Europe, and what I always explain to the vocalists is anybody can learn technique and learn the riffs that are the cool riffs and the cool tone. But what makes a singer, what makes an artist, is someone who can make you feel what they are feeling. That's the difference. You know, because I can hear somebody doing some crazy riffs and just the most pristine, clear, beautiful tone and never miss a note, but I could listen to them and not feel anything. That's because there's just a disconnect there. There's a disconnect with what she is feeling or not feeling, he, her, and me. There's somewhere in between there, something is missing. And maybe there's a sincerity in my own instinct says there is a lack of sincerity. And maybe just that want to be a star thing as opposed to wanting, just being yourself. I know because my upbringing prior to Shaka was Roy Ayers, prior to that I was classically trained. So when you mentioned the album, I think back what maybe was the first influences in the musical comedy. But in school, the teachers, they put in me, because I went to a high school for performing arts in Texas, in Dallas, the very same one that Erica Badu went to, Roy Hargrove, Nora Jones, a few other, Edie Brickell went there. Anyway, but it was a really good school. We had excellent teachers, and they instilled in us that desire to be the absolute best that we could be, whatever that voice was. Because as you know, Edie Brickell and Erica Badu have very different sounds. They don't sound like Aretha Franklin. They don't sound like, you know, they have their own sounds. And they encouraged you to delve into whatever that is and come out with your own thing. And like Pete said, we're all influenced by stuff. But it's about that filter. Once you get all that stuff in there, you mix it in a little potpourri, well, that's you. That's you. And being around Shaka, for me, well, first of all, she sings from the bottom of her panties, you know what I mean? She literally reaches all up in there, and I talked to her, I mean, you know, of course, that's my daughter. I mean, we talked about it a lot, and I mean, she taught me a lot of things about singing from that core. And but I think the main thing I took away from Shaka was, well, I mean, can I say her words? Her words are fuck everything. You have to do you. You see, she said, doesn't matter what you look like when you're singing it. If you gotta be ugly, whatever it is, because a lot of them are trying to be pretty, you know, whatever it is that keeps it real, you know, she's like, oh man, you just do whatever. You gotta squeeze your butt cheeks together, that's what she told me to do. And, you know, all those, you know, crazy late night conversations with, you know, with substances, really, they set. No, we crack substance, you know, crack substance.
We can edit that.
Substance.
Right.
Crackers. But you know, you just get a lot. I mean, I certainly got a lot out of there was a freeness that she just said, you know what, girl, if you can sing as low as you can sing as high as you can, you know. So she really just took a lot of fear away. She took a lot of fear away. It's like you get on stage and you got to be game. You got to go for it. And if you don't hit the note, you got to be unafraid to make a mistake. And working with these guys, influentially speaking, they really hammered that in with me, because, you know, I would do a take and I'd be like, oh my God, no, I got to do it again. Nah. If it feels good, they will leave it. You know, I might think, oh man, but oh man, it's kind of, I could do that better. No, next. So, seriously, they really helped break down that barrier, that wall of, I have to be perfectness. You know, I learned that piece in school. Be perfect, be the best you, be perfect. Shaka, you know, Shaka was actually a little late, but you know, the freeness of not being afraid to, you know, go for yours. And then when I got to them and with the recording, they really hammered that last, unhinged that last hinge that would keep me away from really expressing everything that I thought I did.